shine. Welcome to story time. Rise and shine. Welcome to story time. Rise and shine. Welcome to story time. We're so glad you're here. Rise and shine. Welcome to story time. Rise and shine. Welcome to story time. Rise and shine. Welcome to story time. We're so glad you're here.
Good morning, boys and girls. I guess you wonder, why does Ms. Rose have this black piece of construction paper in her hand? Well, I want you to guess what we're going to be talking about today. So I have a piece of construction paper and I have scissors, and I'm going to cut a shape because this shape is found on all forms of this. And so, I should have marked it. So now, what do I have? I have a little circle. And now I'm going to put a little circle in the middle, and now I have two. So what do those resemble? Did I hear someone say wheels? Yes. We're going to be talking about things that move. And those things that move us from one place to another. And they're forms of what do I hear? Transportation. Yes, we're going to be talking about transportation, how we move from one place to another. We might be on what is this? A bus. We might be on a train. We might be on a plane. All those things have wheels. Now, you say a plane doesn't have to have wheels. Yes, it does, because it has to roll into a landing and land on the ground. So we're going to be talking about transportation. So listen today, and maybe we'll introduce you to some new forms of transportation that you did not know, and maybe you can invent something, because remember, Henry Ford invented the automobile, and the automobile made us move from one place to another in a faster way. Now, I guess you say, well, how did we move before? Well, did you know we used to move with wagons? And they all had what? Wheels. And you might be saying, well, before they made wagons, what did we have? So we had animals that moved us from back and forth. But we're going to talk about the forms of transportation. So listen.
Good morning, boys and girls. Today, I'm going to tell you a flannel story about a bus. Let's see what it's about. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town. The wipers on the bus go swish, swish, swish. Swish, 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 swish. The wipers on the bus go swish, 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 all through the town. The horn on the bus goes beep, 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 beep. The horn on the bus goes beep, 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 all through the town. The driver on the bus goes, move on back, move on back, move on back. The driver on the bus goes, move on back, all through the town. The baby on the bus goes, wah, 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 wah. The The baby on the bus goes wah, 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 all through the town. The mommy on the bus goes shh, 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 shh. The mommy on the bus goes shh, 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 all through the town. The people on the bus go up and down, up and down, up and down. The people on the bus go up and down, all through the town.
Hi everyone. Today I'm going to tell you a story about how 3 kids get to school. Kevin, Andre, and Michelle all go to the same school, and they all take different methods of transportation to get there. Kevin likes to ride his bike, and Andre has a scooter, and Michelle has a skateboard. One day, they were all riding to school, and Kevin, arriving first, proclaimed proudly, "I'm first. My bike is the best." Andre and Michelle were upset. Clearly, their way of doing it was better. Michelle said, "You only ride a bike because it's easy. You have to be cool and skilled to ride a skateboard. That's why it's the best. It's also pretty fast, too." Andre snorted. "Having to do all that work just to get to school? No way. The scooter has a handlebar to help you keep your balance. It's got brakes in the back, too. Clearly better." Kevin rolled his eyes. "Well, if that's true, then the bike is also the best. It's the fastest, has a handlebar too, has brakes and a seat so you don't have to stand." Clearly, the kids weren't going to reach any sort of agreement anytime soon. Michelle thought about it for a second and suggested a trade. For the next week, each of them would ride somebody else's ride. They traded that morning and shook on it. After a week of riding to and from school, they met up again to talk about what they had learned. "I gotta hand it to you, Andre. The scooter's handlebar is nice to have sometimes," said Michelle. "Having a seat so I don't have to stand all the time is pretty great too," added Andre. "I didn't realize how hard it was to ride a skateboard," said Kevin. "But once I figured it out, it was really fun." Each of them agreed that the other's ride was pretty cool. However, after a week of something new, each was longing for their old familiar set of wheels back. "I still think the skateboard is the best for me," said Michelle. "But your guys' stuff's pretty cool too." "Agreed," added Andre and Kevin. And they headed back home, happy with their own ride. What do you think? What would you rather ride to school? Bye.
Good morning, boys and girls. Transportation is how we get from one place to another, and there are many different kinds. Listen to this story closely and see how many modes of transportation you can find.
Oh no! Mrs. Savannah has all of the books for Miss Rose's basket. How will she get the books to Miss Rose? Do you see something she could ride to the library? The bus, right! Miss Savannah made it to town. But uh-oh, she doesn't know the way from the bus stop. Who is that? It's Miss Bonnie riding by in her car. Miss Savannah asks Mrs. Bonnie to bring the books to Miss Rose, please. Mrs. Bonnie says she will, right away. Uh-oh, Mrs. Bonnie's car can't go on the sidewalk. How will she get the books to Mrs. Rose? Who is that? It's Mr. Ross riding by on a skateboard. Mrs. Bonnie waves him down and asks him to get the books to Mrs. Rose, please. Mr. Ross says of course he will and speeds away. Mr. Ross makes it to the library. Who is that he sees? It's Miss Rose with nothing in her basket. Mr. Ross gives her the books, and now Mrs. Rose can tell you what's in her basket.
Hi, boys and girls. I guess you know what's in my basket today. We have been talking about what? I think someone said transportation. Yes, I have my trusty little bus in my basket today, and my bus has what? We talked about at the beginning. They have wheels, and we use wheels to get from one place to another. Now, I want to tell you about some things that are on the move. And I said that usually when you transport something, you usually have wheels, but I kind of forgot about that one thing that goes on water that moves us from one place to another. What is that called? Did I hear someone say a boat, a ship, a yacht? Right, those things help us move too. So this book is called On the Move. And these kids are on their bicycles, and those bicycles have what? I heard you. Wheels. You're saying, Miss Rose, you know what it takes to get from one place to another, and we know too. We got to have some way to move. So come to the library and read about helicopters, buses, and boats and ships, skateboards, and all kinds of things that are on the move. So come check out this book. It has beautiful illustrations in it, and you'll love to be a part of it when you read it. And then I want to tell you about this famous man who really started a whole revolution, a whole new thing, a whole new way of thinking. And I want to find a better picture of him so that you can see. And his name was Henry Ford. And he invented the Model T Ford. And that was a car. And that car made us have to build bridges and roads and interstates so that we could get around, because everyone wanted a car, and everyone still does. So you say, why are there so many cars in the world? It's because of this man who invented them, and that is a Model T Ford. They didn't all look like they look now, but you need to come and check out this book that tells about Henry Ford and his invention of the Model T Ford. And I believe that was like in 1904. And it took a while for everybody to get started. But in the 60s, they decided they need to build interstates so that we could move smoothly across this country. So come and check out this book as it tells the history of transportation. Hope you enjoyed today, and come to the library so that you can get signed up for our summer program and so that you can learn more about transportation.